you are this much closer. Like you just went from you went from here to way over there. Oh, like people who can't hear me. I'm aggressively using my hands and space around Timothy. He's very upset about it.
There. That's how I feel.
Basically, it's a big jump forward.
There.
You were that upset about it, huh?
You almost smacked me in the face.
I did. I knew where you were. My peripheral vision. It's like my vertical leap, son.
Oh, my. And on that note...
Your Opinion Stinks opens the conversation on a hot-button business topic.
And flips it on its head.
Hosted by a wellness coach
And a business coach.
We break down conventional business
While building entrepreneurs up for success.
Who will you agree
with?
Welcome to Your Opinion Stinks. I'm Tanisha.
And I'm Tim. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to subscribe anywhere you hear podcasts, iTunes, anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. We're there. And YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that alert button. And let's chat it out.
Okay. Well, today we're talking about TV. I do love TV.
Yeah. All right. Talking about TV. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Specifically reality TV.
Okay.
And what it can teach, the fun and surprisingly helpful lessons TV can teach entrepreneurs.
That's a stretch. But let's see.
Thank you, reality TV, for being so educational. Oh. See, watching a lot of it is okay if it's educational.
It's hard for me to argue with that, but okay. Yeah, sure.
We're talking about 3 shows in particular. We're going to talk about Shark Tank.
Okay.
Which I think many of the listeners and viewers would expect us to talk about in this.
More than likely.
It's a popular one for us entrepreneurs to watch. A little more surprising might be Bar Rescue.
There's some lessons to be learned from Bar Rescue.
There are lessons from Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little more surprising, Moonshiners.
One of the best shows on TV.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
It's educational.
And educational.
Yeah.
So, I have a few concepts. There's no definition or thesis today.
Okay.
We are going to talk about multiple entrepreneurial concepts and how each of those shows exemplifies that thing. And then I did not tell you at the end of each item that we talk about, each lesson, we'll vote on which show shows that the best. And if we disagree, we're going to fight.
All right.
How's that sound to you?
All right. Let's try.
I think we might be able to do this again in another episode. We could take 3 different shows or something and and do different concept lessons and fight it out.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick recap of what each of those shows is, just in case you don't watch it. Don't worry, you don't need to be fans of any of those shows to have fun in this episode. Just sit tight. It's okay. So, Shark Tank. You have the shark investors. You're going into the Shark Tank, and the sharks are the investors. And little regular entrepreneur type person with maybe it's a very new business, maybe it's a little more established, but they want investment money. And they come in, boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, boom, boom. And they walk in, it's very dramatic. And then they do their pitch. And then the sharks rip them apart. It's like, how long have you been in business? How much money have you lost? How much debt do you have? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I don't know. I think it's 300. And then,
Yeah.
and they kind of freak out. But if they hold their composure, then the sharks are like, maybe we shouldn't eat this person. And then they pitch how much money they want to invest. And then the person walks away, yay! And then they celebrate in the hall because they got a deal. And then you never hear from them again. And sometimes it falls apart after the show.
Okay.
Often it falls apart after the show.
Go to Wikipedia and you can see a whole laundry list of how many of these shows actually make it to profitability.
Okay, so that's Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Then there's Bar Rescue,
Yeah.
where John Tapper, there's this bar, and they show a montage of how horrible the bar is. And like things are crazy. A horse is walking into the bar, literally.
Pooping in the bar.
It pooped in the bar, yes.
Yep.
A horse pooped in the bar, y'all.
Big poop.
He walked into the freezer of one bar. There was a giant mushroom growing out of the wall. He got so mad, y'all. He's mad all the time. His blood pressure must be terrible.
I bet he has great blood pressure.
You think so?
Like, it seems like this is something he does all the time. So it's probably controlled rage.
Oh, it's his way of venting. So he's actually really chill at home. It's like classical music and brandy the whole time at home.
Uh-huh.
He gets out his rage at work. So, yeah, basically he yells at everyone until they do what he says because he's a bar expert. And he gets you in tip-top shape, remodels your bar, and then you're like, oh, wow, now I can be successful. Unless you fall apart after the show. That's just like Shark Tank. Unless everything falls apart after the show, you'll be successful. Okay, so that's Bar Rescue.
Yes.
The third one, Moonshiners. So great. So the Moonshiners, somehow cameras are allowed to follow them around film them doing illegal activity.
This is all strategically planned in place. We can just agree to that it's not as dangerous as they make it out to be.
So much of it must be so contrived.
They're on a set
It's just
in the Appalachian Mountains in Northern Carolina.
Every time they feel like, what's that? Is that a cop?
That's the director pointing at them saying, say, what's that?
Say it down. Say it.
Write it down. It's down. You hear that? It's a bar.
Go down. I think it's a helicopter.
You can't trust the law.
Oh, it's a bear. It's all right. Wait, it's a bear. They're going to eat our mash. So basically, they're making moonshine, trying to stay under the radar of the law. Mm. And the talent that they have for business building and execution, especially.
They are pretty. Well, okay, they present themselves to be very, very smart, very savvy.
Yeah, it's very savvy. Savvy's a good word.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 shows. All right. So now let's get into the lessons. The first lesson we're going to talk about as a lesson from TV for entrepreneurs is Lesson 1. Do your research before engaging potential clients and/or investors. I stand firmly behind doing research. It's in our sign-off, after all. Mm-hmm. Everyone should do their research. Opinions are not facts. Do your research and have fun in the fight.
So that means we're done?
Oh, no. Oh, I messed it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to go for the easy one.
Oh, all right. Shark Tank.
No.
No?
Moonshiners.
Moonshiners. All right. I like that one.
So I don't know that all of them really do research. I guess so, maybe, because it seems like on Moonshiners, most of it is experimentation. They experiment where they're going to set up. They experiment their recipes. Some of them are like scientifically put their recipes together. But I don't know that it's research. I mean, like when they make their shine, some of them do it by the season of the harvest. Some of them already know what they're going to do, and that's all they make. Like they make corn whiskey or whatever. But I don't know that research really applies to that show.
It does. Okay. Because for me, research can apply just to the knowledge that has been passed down to you by a family member, a mentor.
Is that research?
An educator. I think that falls under research. Like they didn't just come out the womb as a baby and know how to make moonshine. They had to learn, and they had to keep learning.
Okay.
They had to, when something's not working, they have to talk to someone about what's not working.
Mm-hmm.
I think research is very much a part of that. It's not, research isn't always, internet.
Isn't always researching.
Right. The going to the library. Moonshiners aren't necessarily going to the library and checking out books on moonshining.
But I'm not so sure that they're going somewhere and researching how to make their still sites and all that. Most of that comes from just skills that they already have, or skills that they can barter for.
You don't think tradition counts?
I don't know.
As research?
I don't know that really counts as research. I'm not sure.
Let's look up research. All right, y'all. We found a definition of research. I have on my glasses. That's in keeping with the theme. It's because it's far away. I gotta read it. Okay, I guess I'll be doing the definition anyway. Research. The systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. So that counts. Oh, that's for Google. Google Dictionary. I think that counts. Systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts.
The systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to Thank you. To establish facts and reach new conclusions. They're not reaching any new conclusions about anything, and they're not reaching out to do any type of studying.
I don't know.
So I don't think that they fit for research.
They do. No, okay. Mark and Digger, are those the ones that are my favorites?
Yep.
Mark and Digger do research. He's always doing some scientific stuff with the mix of the mash, and if you do this, then the chemical reaction.
No, that's experimentation.
But he didn't just come up with that off the top of his head. He must have done research.
The whole thing to figure out how to make what he makes?
Well, fine.
All right.
I thought Moonshiners was a good example of research.
I don't think that fit research. So.
Fine.
So now
we know which one's going to win. Well, not necessarily. Okay. Because both of the other ones do this.
Bar Rescue, I don't think does it either.
Okay. They're your Bar Rescue guy.
Actually, well, no.
Tons of research.
No, he does research. Yeah. Because he definitely checks out the city maps and does local surveying and yeah, he does research. He does a ton of research.
In fact, I want to recommend to anyone who has or is thinking of a brick and mortar business or consults people with brick and mortar businesses. At least as of 2013, in an episode, he mentioned using this online resource. I think you pronounce it Esri, ESRI. It'll be in the show notes. And you can get demographics information, psychographics, socioeconomic data. So he uses that, and so he figures out where the bar is.
What's in conjunction to type of people that buy in that area, like the age, demo. So figuring out what the looks might be, researching the other local competition to see what they've done.
Yep.
He
goes in.
He puts a
on the
lot of work
research.
in to
He
make
does.
sure. Yeah.
In most cases, you can be fairly confident. As I'm fairly confident. I'd bet money that he did a whole lot more research in the pre-production of that episode than the owners did
Well,
the whole time they were open.
that's not their job. Their job is to be in debt and call up Tapper, open the books. No, wait, open the doors and open the books. I can't remember how the thing goes.
Fly open the books
And make a call
and make
to Bar Rescue.
and get yelled at. Bar rescue.
Yeah. So
So that.
So
he
they
does
do a ton
lot
of research. And it actually is really interesting to watch how he does it, because
Yes.
if you really pay attention to how he does his rebuilds based off of his data, it's really great information to kind of like dissect it. So yeah, the
and
research is good on there.
Watching his thought process through that is
There's
really
some of them.
interesting.
There's some of them.
Yeah. So that's a good one.
Yeah,
Now,
and then Shark Tank is absolutely
You have to do your
is
research.
absolutely research. Like if like they write books and make videos, I think, that teach you how to prepare for the tank. And
Yeah, it's like this one reality show has provoked a whole side industry.
yeah. I'll share this story real quick. When I do my summer programs with kids, like part of of their summer program is to do entrepreneurship, which is what I'm a part of.
Yeah.
And part of what they have to do
Yeah.
is the same type of research that you would find in an incubator. So like Shark Tank is a straight up incubator, and like it's funny when you see it on TV. It's already at the fever pitch of they've done the work and now it's time to make the sale. Working with the kids
Yeah.
and seeing their minds start to just unravel,
those gears
rebuild,
go.
and then execute. It's the stuff that you don't see on Shark Tank
Yeah.
that happens in a matter of 3 weeks
Wow.
or less, because some of them, their ideas get totally scrapped. I had one set of kids who changed their business that same day before they had to pitch.
Whoa.
They learned all the skills, so they knew what to do. So they were able to come up with a very viable business
Nice.
in
Same
hours.
day.
Same day.
Wow.
So-
what made them scrap it?
It was just bad.
Oh.
After they talked to so many entrepreneurs about it, including myself,
like,
it was like, this functionally doesn't work. And
Gotta start over, y'all.
and so they took those skills, they did their research, they got their phones when they had that internet access, and they banged out a banger overnight.
Good job, kiddies.
I don't remember if they won or came in second. I think they came in second.
For them.
But Shark Tank. Whew.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
Just watching, yeah, because they'll come up with all sorts of random questions, and if the person, like if you're a person and the client or the potential client or investor thinks they got you, like they don't know it, like what was your year-over-year change of the, just some random question,
Yeah.
and you rattle out an answer, you are this much closer. Like you just went from you went from here to way over there. Oh, like people who can't hear me, I'm aggressively using my hands and space around Timothy. He's very upset about it.
There. That's how I feel.
Basically, it's a big jump forward.
There.
You were that upset about it, huh?
You almost smacked me in the face.
I did. I knew where you were. My peripheral vision. It's like my vertical leap, son.
Oh my. And on that note,
So, yes. Strong on the research. Okay,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
let's vote.
vote for
Which show, I guess Moonshiners is out. Which show between Bar Rescue and
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank? Bar Rescue Shark Tank exemplifies the
the characteristic of
Like,
research.
do your research before engaging potential clients and or investors. Which one shows it the best?
Well, since you said before, it's automatically Shark Tank.
Yeah, it's Shark Tank.
If
Shark
if
Tank's
you're
the best.
if your wording was different and opened up for where it wasn't before, because Taffer does this stuff after.
After what? No, he comes in there. He comes in there ready. He's got the maps all printed out.
No,
he already has the.
He does that the second day.
No, he shows them the second day, but he already had it figured out when he got there.
I don't think
At
that's
least
the case.
partially. Like, he gets there and he talks about. He gets in there and like, okay, this is what your beverage program and your food program should look like with the two experts. But as far as the concept for the place, because otherwise
He always mentions it on the second day.
but they have to do that research. Otherwise, they might
should.
show up at some bar in a crappy part of town that cannot support a bar, and that's why they're failing. They need to know the location.
I get that. It doesn't seem that that's the case.
He does.
I mean,
he
we
wouldn't
don't
come
know.
with those
We don't-
snazzy maps and stuff.
We don't know what happens in the background, so I'm gonna say for sure that I don't know.
He does.
So.
Because sometimes he says, like, I knew before I got here, what you needed to do, and it's this because of this. He
Okay,
said that.
All right, well, that's a possibility. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Shark Tank wins that one. Yay! Do we have other than the air horn, just like a ba-ba?
There you go. Give it a coin.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you got a coin, Shark Tank. Don't eat it. Okay.
All right.
Okay. The next one is enhance your negotiation skills.
There's an argument for all of these now on this one.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna pull out Bar Rescue first,
Okay.
because there's not a lot of negotiation that happens in Bar Rescue.
There's negotiation
There's not a lot of it.
as much as in Moonshiners. There's only
Yeah.
negotiation in one part.
No, there's tons of negotiation in Moonshiners, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So in Bar
I don't know
Rescue,
about that.
like most of the time, it's your brand sucks because you killed your brand. I'm going to rebrand you, and that's that.
Yeah.
So wherever there's any room for there to be something, there has to be some reason that goes beyond the concept for there to be negotiation. Like the firefighter dudes, where there was a really big, homage that they were paying to the father Jack, and he was like, "I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to make sure that stays in the aesthetic of the rebrand." While the one with the husband and wife, and they had to paint on the Braxton.
Brixton?
Braxton? I don't know. Let's say Brixton.
Yeah. And the guy, oh yeah.
Yes.
He wanted to, it was an exercise to get buy-in from the owners for the new name. And he wanted the guy owner to use some of the paint to paint over Brixton.
Yes.
And he painted a big middle finger.
Yeah. There was no negotiation that happened in that
no
remodel. And as a result, at the end,
He changed the name back.
yeah. So I don't see that there's much in negotiation in that, because he's called in to fix the bar.
Yeah.
On Moonshiners, there's tons of negotiation, because there's negotiation.
Really?
There's negotiation
Oh, he said
on the supplies, because they got to get their stuff that's under the counter.
Oh yeah.
Like their corn,
Under
their
the
sugar, under the table. Their corn, the sugar, the copper, all this other
Oh,
type
they're
of
like,
stuff.
yes, you're right. They're
So they trade moonshine
if
for
I
it?
give you a jug of moonshine, will you?
Right.
Hey,
Yeah. So they do a ton of
if I give you 3 jugs of moonshine, can I have my still on your property, even though I thought no one lived here?
yeah. I'll pay you a tax. Tim did a crazy barter to get himself a
Oh, a new
feed thing, silo. He gave like a whole bunch of jugs of his, and we're not promoting it, Climax Moonshine.
Not a sponsor of the show.
And dude took it, you know, because that was
a silo.
Yeah, and so
with a dead animal inside.
Yeah, big old dinosaur. But we don't get to see a lot of the barter, but we know that they do a lot of barter.
I was just thinking of when all the moonshine's done, and they get there they're doing the drop off. Mm-hmm. And it's all sketchy.
Oh, there's negotiation there too.
Hopefully they didn't bring anybody, and the cops follow us. Like, all right, we're here.
Yep.
Like, let me give you a taste. All right, it's good, right? It's good, ain't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. That's real good, smooth. Like, yeah, it tastes like apples.
This tastes like honeysuckle.
It's a special mix from my granddaddy, even though he didn't. It's never that.
There's tons of negotiation in there.
There's a lot of negotiations, like, because the guy will be like, so it's good, right? Like, yeah. Like, so we talked about 1,500. Like, well, I was thinking more like 1,000. 1,000. I can't let this go for 1,000. I use like real water. No, what is that?
Fresh mountain spring water. This is handcrafted.
This is too special for me. No. Like, all right.
This is high dollar shine.
It's like I can't let it go for that. All right, I'll do 1,500. All right, let's go. And then they transfer, get it out, and get the.
I wish we had a rise. We could do it as we were saying it. And then you just, all right, I'll do it. All right, shake on it.
Shake.
All right, see you next time. Yeah,
next time.
Shark Tank. Tons of negotiation. And
for Shark Tank.
It's crazy. It feels as though once Mark Cuban jumped in, there was more of it.
Yeah.
Like early on, there would be some, and I think they were kind of like figuring out how they were gonna have those conversations. But I think once Mark came in and he kind of forced people's hands into talking more about their deals, it forced people to have to find ways to be more creative in their flexibility when they came to the point of negotiation, trying to get that shark to say yes, or getting those combinations of sharks to say yes.
Yeah.
So I'll take it back. It was before Mark Cuban. I'd have to say it was probably when they had, who was that guest? It wasn't the comedian. It wasn't Charles Barkley. It was another guest, and he was just really, really sharp. And I can't remember who he was. But then,
Ashton Kutcher.
It wasn't Kutcher. But once they got Cuban in, definitely more negotiation happened. Like, I love to see them do the mental exercise. It's a great lesson in being able to be creative, like on the spot. Mm-hmm. Like, there's so much about business that gets left on the table because you don't have creativity. And if you want to build that muscle, watch them in the Shark Tank.
Creative deal making, creativity in presenting your product, persuasion. Fantastic book for people to learn more about being more persuasive. What's the name? I wrote it down. Instant Influence. What's the full title? Full title is...
I know that book.
Instant... Yeah, we both read it.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Instant Influence. How to get anyone to do anything fast.
Yeah.
It sounds seedy, but it's not. It's not. It's so fantastic. And it's a technique you can even use on yourself.
You can use it on babies. It works really great.
Babies.
You can influence a baby real quick.
But it's like, you can use it on yourself. You can use it on someone who knows exactly what you're doing and it still works.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such a great book.
Yeah.
But so tons of negotiation.
Yeah.
So what's the vote?
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just watch it.
It's a lesson in negotiation every episode.
Yeah, every time you watch, you're getting a lot out of it. So definitely Shark Tank.
So Shark Tank won both of those.
Didn't because of the
Yeah.
phrasing. Yeah. Is there?
I think we should. What do you think of doing the next episode? We do 2 more lessons
Okay, sounds good to
and
me.
we wrap this one up.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So we're gonna do part 2 tomorrow because it's launch week and we breaking all the rules.
Something like that. Yeah, I like that.
Don't bring your rules up in here.
No, well, we need rules.
Oh,
We're trying to elevate people, and they have to have rules to elevate.
we breaking the
themselves.
rules.
You got to know the rules first before you can break the rules.
And I know the rules because I wrote them.
I can't argue with that.
I wrote.
That's
I got
logical.
them written right here.
That's logical. Yeah.
I got them written right here. Breaking those rules, fools.
Congratulations.
Right.
On being a rebel rouser and breaking rules. It makes
It's out of
sense.
character for me. Feels good.
Wearing that
Don't mess with me.
wearing that black shirt. You know.
Yeah. Maybe it's the glasses. I didn't work. I can see.
I don't have that happen to me when I wear glasses.
They don't make you aggressive.
No,
Oh,
not at all.
I might have a problem, y'all.
Yep.
Oh,
Yup.
correct.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. So,
Part 2 tomorrow.
yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget subscribe, and hit that alert button so every time we throw up something new, you get it. And if you're on iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, of course, subscribe there too.
Yeah.
We are everywhere, but we really love the people to go on there and on iTunes and to give us that 5-star ratings.
Yeah.
It counts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So I'm Tim.
I'm Tanisha. And remember, opinions are not facts. Do your research and have fun in the fight.
Be careful who you end up repping if you're on the show with somebody, because it might not even go the right way. I guess here it's okay.
It's nice. I'm rubbing his shoulder, y'all. That's all I'm doing for the people listening on audio. Don't get nasty. It's a family show
Oh my goodness.
about entrepreneurship.
Oh my goodness.
We're not breaking all those rules.
That's a different type of show.
That's sassy. I may need to cut that out. Bye. Bye.